Welcome to class 2 of CM2. We'll continue with binomial trees in today's class. These are the notations. So K is normally strike price. And we want to find the value here. You can say C naught or V naught, whatever, it doesn't matter. But C naught, let me write C
Can
naught.
anyone hear anything?
Now this is the stock price at time 0, that is S naught. Remember, stock price at time 1, that is S1, S naught U here, and in this node it's S naught D. These are the symbols you need to remember. We will use time and again. And C naught is the value of the option, okay, but that will be equal to V naught. So what we did last time, if you remember, this was a replicating portfolio. So that means here you can purchase this contract, okay. Let's forget about the share price and all. This is different, okay. We'll not link all. We'll do this way. We'll keep it separate because this will say only share price movements. We have taken two options now. What will happen is later we'll give more options, okay. Now stock price movement is modeled using only two options, up or down. That is what we say binomial. Later when we see the stock price movement using a stochastic process, we'll model the stock price using a stochastic process. You will have infinite choices, all these values, okay. But now we have only two choices, so keep it separate. What we want is, this is the underlying, basing on this asset we want a business. What is that business? The option business, options market. Here it's like we are gambling. There is a cricket match, okay. This is a cricket match between two countries, suppose India and Australia, and now we are sitting here and gambling, okay. So at time 0 and this is time 1, 2-period binomial tree. What we do here is, actually this is time 0 and this is time 1, okay. So at time 0, at time 1, there are two parties here. The two parties are here, and both the parties, they are gambling. It's a kind of gamble, okay. So if you remember, because initially you need to develop, I'm repeating, these are the two parties. One is the writer and one is the purchaser. I'm talking about call option now, and European call option. We will not worry about American call option now. So let's concentrate on only one option, okay, that is call option. So this is the this guy is the buyer of the call option, and this guy is the seller of the call option. Seller and buyer. This is the writer of the call option. So writer will give one call option, I mean sell to this guy, okay. So this is a legal contract, legal document. This is a legal document, okay. So this paper is there with the buyer now. So to purchase this paper, buyer will give some amount to the seller, because this is the option paper, okay. This is the option paper, options contract. So in this paper, to get this paper, buyer will give some amount to the seller. That amount, the notation for that is C naught, okay, the premium you can say, or the value of the option here, the value of the contract. To keep the option, the buyer has to pay some amount to the seller, that is C naught, okay. And we want to find the value of C naught. Here if you want to know the premium or the value, you can say the value of the options contract, we'll see the replicating portfolio. Okay, what will happen, suppose in the replicating portfolio we have 5 units of the share and psi cash bond, you can say. Okay, if it goes up, what is the value of the portfolio? That will be 5 units of asset. Okay, each one value is S0U now, this one, and the money that will grow with continuous compounding interest rate R. Okay, and if it goes down, its value will be phi S0D plus psi e power R. This will remain the same money. The movement is only here in the stock price. Okay, so there is a change according to the stock price, but money will grow whatever way it will grow. Okay, it will same in both the cases, because according to the share price movement, your values, portfolio values will change. Okay, these are the two options you have. I mean, two possible values of your portfolio. If share price goes up, it will depend on that, this one. If the share price goes down, then this one. This is what we know. And what is the value of this one? Suppose we'll denote it by V0. We don't know C0. Okay, and there is no way we can know C0. They can only fight among themselves. Okay, the two parties, because they have no idea, they have to base on this one. Okay, the replicating portfolio, because here you will be able to find V0. Here there is no way you can know what is C0. So C0 will be actually equal to V0. What is V0? The value of establishing this contract, the cost, you can say, the cost of establishing a contract like this. Now, what is V0 actually? If you find, who can answer? Anu, do you remember? Tell me what is V0?
The discounted value of expected payoff.
Discounted value. Okay, you are saying discounted value
Of expected payoff.
Okay, discounted value, because we'll use this only once. Okay, we'll use this only once. After that, we'll no more use the replicating portfolio. We'll use the formula discounted value. Okay, that's fine, but what is the discounted value? I'm asking what is the portfolio value. You didn't revise? Who can answer? What is the portfolio value? Value of establishing, the cost of establishing this portfolio. What is that?
So you're asking the formula?
I'm asking what is the cost of establishing a portfolio. Suppose you are staying in
That is V0.
Yes. What you are saying?
The cost of establishing the portfolio is V0.
No. What is V0? I'm asking that.
It is the value of the option contract.
No, what is V0? What is the value of V0 in terms of phi and psi?
The number of shares someone hold and the money.
No. I'm not saying. See, in terms of phi and psi, you have to express V0. In the right hand side, you tell me one expression. Okay. In the left hand side, it's V0. So what is the portfolio? Describe about the portfolio now. Phi units of share. Let me write here. And psi units of cash. sorry, will not write units. Psi cash bond, okay, psi amount of cash you can write. So what is the share price here? See, share price here. What is the share price here at time 0?
S0.
S0, okay. So to purchase 5 units of share, okay, to purchase 5 units of share, what will be the cost? What will be the cost of purchasing 5 units of share? What is the cost of 1 unit of share here? One unit of share, okay, that is S0. See, when I wrote S0 here, that is the cost of 1 unit of share. You remember it, okay. So now we have 5 units of share, that will cost 5 S0, okay. So this value, the cost of this will be 5 S0, and this is money anyway, that is psi, okay. So the value of the portfolio will be 5 S0 plus psi. This is what he has to spend, 5 S0 plus psi. Now this guy, if you remember last example, if you see, this was some 5.732 if I remember, okay. So that amount this guy has to spend. I have a question, okay. This is a guy now, you think that you hold 5 shares and 50 rupees, that way only. Now my question is, can this value be negative V0? Can this value be negative? That is my question. Okay, leave it.
Yes, sir.
5 S0 plus psi, okay. How? Yes, if you compare with this one, you are purchasing an option, right? So at time 0, I am saying you have to bear some cost. You want to keep the option, okay. You didn't go to the option. We are not now in the forward contract market, okay. I am talking about the options pricing. So this should be positive anyway. So 5 S0 plus psi is the cost, okay. With that cost, you have a portfolio where you have 5 units of share and psi cash. For that, you have to spend this amount. See, 5, you have 5, okay, 5 is positive. 5 units of share, when we say, it can be negative. S0 is the stock price, that is always positive. Psi is cash, that is always positive, okay. So you can say size may be negative, even last time it was negative. Yeah, mostly, I mean, when you are borrowing, it could be negative also, okay. But the overall value of V0 should be positive anyway. So 5 S0 plus psi, this is the cost to this guy, okay. Now buyer has to pay some amount to the seller, okay. Here, if this guy, buyer of the purchase, like this guy purchases this contract, okay, this options contract, this value is actually V0. Forget about C0 now, it's not required, okay. Now the buyer has to pay, buyer has this one, okay. So he will purchase this with V0 price. C0 is equal to V0, okay. Now it's V0 because you know this one, the cost to the other guy. Now the only thing you need to verify is you have to wait one time period. What will happen when the share price goes up, okay. When the share price goes up, what will happen? The portfolio value will be this one. If the share price goes down, the portfolio value will be this one, okay. In this case, here, see, these are not the pay-ups of this guy, right? These are the share price. This will be applicable for this one and for this guy also. So don't compare this and this. These are not the two types. When I said two types last time, this is one type, the other type we don't know, so there is no diagram. Okay, forget about that. Now this is one value. If you remember, there was one symbol. Okay, we'll continue with that. So this one, we have this one and this one. Okay, so what is V naught? Now I didn't write this by V naught because they should be equal. You write C naught, then V naught, it doesn't matter. So V naught is the value of the forward contract. Remember, that is phi S naught plus psi. So now if you want to know what are phi and psi, you need to solve two equations. So if I introduce for this guy also like this, why not spend a little bit time, right, and do it proper. So if I introduce this one also, what are the payoffs? Do you remember what are the payoffs here? The payoffs for this guy is CU, okay, and this is CD. That means this guy is expecting to get CU CD in both cases. Okay, I mean if it goes up CU, if it goes down CD. How about this guy? These two, so they must be equal. These are the two equations if you remember. So CU should be equal to phi S naught U, that should be equal to CU, and phi S naught D plus psi should be equal to CD e power R. You have to solve these two equations. Okay, once you solve these two equations, you will be able to get phi and psi, and you can put here and you will get the answer. That's all. It's so easy. So can you solve these two equations? That is the question. Simply what you can do is you subtract. Okay, when you subtract, the second term will get cancelled. I mean the second term will no more be there in the final equation, and you take common here S naught phi. Okay, if you take phi S naught common, you will get U minus D, that will be equal to CU minus CD. It's so simple, right? And then phi will be here, phi, let me write, phi is equal to CU minus CD divided by S naught U minus D. This is phi. Okay, then I have to write S naught plus, you have to find psi also, the second one. You put the value of phi, you will get psi. Okay, so once you remember these two, you have to solve suppose 30 problems. In every problem it will be used. So if you remember, that will be good. I will not solve this one. Okay, that might take another 2 to 3 minutes time, I don't know, but I will write the values of phi and psi. You remember, and you need to reproduce whenever required. Okay, so e power R comes here. Remember, this way you can remember. You have to start with U, UCD, DCU. Let me write UCD minus DCU and divide it. You get one term here, e power R U minus D. Okay, If you want, you can verify here. This S0 and S0 I can cancel here now. Okay, so I can take LCM here. If I take LCM here, then I will have this. V0 is equal to U minus D. Here I have U minus D, and here I have to check once again, right? Cu minus Cd is here. Cu minus Cd. Okay. And then the second one, UCD e power minus r, I have to write UCD minus DCU. Just follow here. I will write in a particular way that will be useful for you. Let me write Cu here, and you bring the Cu term so that you can take common. Okay, so if you bring the Cu term, it will be dCu e power minus r. Plus Cd terms you keep together, minus Cd I have, and I have e power minus r, U e power minus r Cd here, minus Cd here, and you divide it by U minus D. Then what will happen? You can write this as this way. Cu, anyway, let's take common, 1 minus D e power minus r, and you take Cd common here. Okay, U comes here. So you have to remember this particular way, because we are writing in a way that is required. I need e power minus r anyway outside. I want to take e power minus r common. Okay, we'll see why. We'll see, but remember I need e power minus r anyway. Okay, so multiply e power r here. You need that. If you multiply e power r, you will get e power r here. This will get cancelled D, and I will write Cu. Okay, plus e power r I multiplied, so it will be e power minus r, so I have to multiply e power r here. Okay, so then what will happen? If you multiply, U is here, right? So once U is here, I think that should not be here. Yeah, I had e power minus r, I left, right? So here when I took Cd common, let me change this one, U e power minus r minus 1, right? So when you multiply ER, you will have only U, okay, minus ER divided by U minus D. Cu Cd U minus D. Now the only thing you need to check is the sum of these two must be equal to 1. This is very, very important. Okay, so this one also we don't want here. We want this way actually, E minus R, something we don't know. Okay, suppose this is a box here, Cu plus 1 minus box CD. This is what we need. This way we want to write, and we are fortunate enough we are getting this way. Okay, the only thing you need to check is when you add this and this, you should get 1, otherwise there will be problem. That is what you need to check. Okay, let's check this one. Then we'll give some symbol here. Now if you add this one and this one, okay, 1 minus this one, then it should be equal to 1. If you want, you can check it. Okay, this, if this you say this is Q, so this will be 1 minus Q. Why we want this way? Because if you use general reasoning to find this one, your payoff is Cu or CD here. Okay, and there is a probability. If you say Q is the probability, you can say, because Q plus 1 minus Q is 1. So if you say, if you treat this as a probability, okay, fortunately yes, if you say that this will go with probability Q and 1 minus Q, then what is the expected value? QCU plus 1 minus QCD. Now check here, QCU plus 1 minus QCD. That way you can write, but this is not the real world probability, because we are using a formula to find this. If you are using a formula to find this, a particular formula according to your purpose, because you want to say what you want to say, whatever is the expected payoff here. Payoff means what? The amount finally you will get. Okay, because if you remember the last time what we did is maybe it was 40, if you remember, this was 40, 60 and 30, this was 45. Okay, strike price. So if you exercise it, if it goes up, the payoff was 15, that is Cu here, not 60. 60 is the share price. K is 45. 45 is the strike price. The final payoff, that amount you will get, that is 15. And here, if you will not exercise the contract, thinking that it went down, obviously you will have to bear a loss. You will definitely not take the share. Okay, with 45. In that case, your payoff will be 0. These are the Cu and CD. Your final, you can say, amount, the final amount. Okay, the net you can say after exercising, either you will have 15 or 0. For that you are paying V0 or C0, whatever. This amount you need, you have already spent this amount here. Okay, now you will get either 15 or 0. So with this probability, if this will happen, with this probability this will happen, what is the expected payoff? Payoff at the up one, you can say this node is Cu, payoff at the down node is CD. The expected one is QCU plus 1 minus QCD here at this point. What is the discounted value of the expected payoff? This is the discounted value of expected payoff. Here expected payoff. Okay, here discounted value of expected payoff. This is what we want. You see, exactly in that form we got. This is the discounted value of expected payoff. Okay, so this way you are able to write. This is V0. So V0, from the derivation we got, we didn't write this way. See, we started with this one. We started with this one, and fortunately we got in a way. We started with this one, phi S0 plus psi, you can say. Okay, so phi we got from here, and psi also we got from here. Okay, and if you put these two, then you will get this one this way. Okay, that is the price. So for a one period binomial tree, the price of the options contract, the European call option contract, is V0. V0 is the amount that is exactly equal to e power minus r QCU plus 1 minus QCD. That is the amount the seller, the writer we say, has to charge to give the option to the other party, option to exercise. Option means it will depend on his or her, whatever you say, benefit. Okay, the other party, the buyer of the option will decide whether to exercise or not. To give that option to the buyer, he is charging the seller or the writer of the contract, okay, is charging this amount. This is what you need to remember. That's all. The amount, okay, this will go and the amount will come. This is the paper, you can say now, this paper, okay. If this guy seller give this paper, he will charge this amount, okay, V naught. Here let me write K here, better, instead of V naught. K is the strike price is written, and this is the option, okay. Strike price will be decided at time 0, and this amount will go to seller. This is the contract at time 0. Then at time 1, seller will either give 0. Remember, seller's pay up will be what? When buyer will get 15 extra, okay, that will be negative for the seller. That way you can remember, okay. In this case also negative to this, because total is the one that is exchange. There are only two parties. Now we'll go to 2-period binomial tree. Here if you see, the price is 40 like last time, okay, it will go to 60 or 30. It was also there. Then second time 80-50 and 40-25, okay, these are the ones, and strike price is same. So all the numbers will write here one by one, okay. Who can remember 80-50 40-25? So when you write these values, you will get the 2-period binomial tree, okay. Now I have a question. You tell me, Anu.
Yes, sir.
The strike price is 45, right?
Yes, sir.
We'll write the strike price, not a problem. But where we'll write the strike price? At time 1 or time 2? Because I'll take you there. And also let me write, this is 40. What is 40?
Sir, S naught.
What is S naught?
This 1 unit of stock.
Share price at time 0.
What is S naught?
Share price at time 0.
Share price at time 0. But yeah, this is so important, S naught. I would like to accept the precise answer, the exact answer. You are close to the answer. What is 40?
Stock price of 1 unit of
Yes,
share
1
at time
unit.
0.
That is what I wanted to hear. Share price of 1 unit. Okay, 1 unit share price you can say. That is 40. All right. Now, these are the choices, 2 choices. It could go up or down. From here again up and down, up and down. These are all the choices. Now, we are talking about the share price movement, okay, easily into two options. Later we'll use stochastic process to model the share price, and then we'll go to the Black-Scholes formula. That is what the main portion of this paper CM2. But now it's easy, we can calculate and all that. So strike price is given 45. That means in case of European call option, remember, there is no way one can exercise before. So what will happen is, these are the 3 times. This is time 1, this is time 2, this is time 2, and this is time 0. This is time 0, okay. And no way the buyer can exercise before the expiry time, okay, before expiry date. This is European call option. So here only buyer has to exercise. Let me write also here, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Okay, so here when we say K is 45, okay, suppose the time is 2, whatever it is, we will not worry, 2 year or 2 month, whatever, we have periods, 2 periods. Okay, here K is 45, that means buyer will compare with these values. Okay, here the payoff, let me write payoff, we can write CUCD anymore, right? Here the payoff will be 80 minus 45, here the payoff will be 50 minus 45, that is 5, here 35. These are the payoffs, right? The final benefit you can say, but here the payoff will be 0. And here the payoff will be 0 because they are the values which are less than 45. So the buyer of the option will not exercise in these cases. Okay, so then what will happen? The share price is 40, but the buyer will not exercise the option, so he will get nothing. That's all. In these cases, he will give what will happen actually at the end. Here at time 2, what will happen? Okay, the buyer will get the share whose worth price is 80 in the market, and he has to give 35. That's all. Okay, pay 35, sorry, pay 45, this is the exercise price, pay 45, get 1 unit of share. That's all. Okay, the only difference if you compare with forward contract is option is there. So give 45 and then take 1 unit of share. Okay, that was 40 here, 80 here. So because its value is 80, the difference is your final payoff. This is what you earned, you can say 35. So these are the payoffs. Okay, final benefit. If you discount these two here, say let me apply a formula here. Okay, so if you say these values, okay, CUCD for this up tree, you can say, okay, we have a bigger tree, then we have a downward, okay, second branch, first up branch, down branch, you can say, and here you find the value, here you find the value, applying the same formula. Okay, here you need to find e power minus r, here also you need to find e power minus r, and here I mean you can write phi psi now, but later we will change the symbols phi psi. Okay, because the values will not be the same. In recombining binomial tree they will be the same. Okay, now what will happen, you find phi psi here, you consider that this is the only one available for you, apply the same formula. So you have to apply twice. Okay, you have to apply the formula twice. So this is one, you can say, this is one, and this is the second one. You have to apply the formula twice. If you apply the formula twice, you will get the values here. So you apply the formula, and after applying the formula, try to get the value here. This is the stock price. Okay, I am not interested in 30. I am finding the discounted present value of future payoffs. Okay, so what I am finding is the discounted present value, discounted value here of the future payoff. That is what I need to find. That is in the up node at time 1, at up node in time 2 also you have to find. So when you find this one, you will be needing Q here, 1 minus Q here, another Q here, 1 minus Q here, then only you know R is fixed. Okay, if you see the question, R is fixed, will not worry about R, 5%. Okay, maybe I forgot to write that one. It's 5%. Last time we've taken, remember, it's 5%. Yeah, it's there, 5%. R is fixed. We will not worry about R. Okay. Now, R is there always. Let's find Q. How can you find Q? You have a formula. Okay. Using the formula, you can find Q. What is formula for Q? Who can answer? What is formula for Q? If you remember, we derived just now. See, Q we have to take this way. E power minus R minus D divided by U minus D. So given a question, you need to search for U and D. U, D are not given, but you can find U, D. You can say E1, D1, U2, D2, U, D. All those symbols will introduce later. Don't worry about the symbols, okay? U means you have to see, okay? 60 and 80. 60 U should be equal to 80. You solve that one, find U here, okay? And 60 D should be equal to 50. If it goes up, it will go up by U times, okay? So 60 U should be equal to 80. 60 D will be equal to 50. Solve, find U and D here. Find U and D here, okay? If you know U and D, then you will be able to find, because you know R, you will be able to find Q and 1 minus Q in both the branches, okay? In this branch you will have a pair of UD, in this branch also Q. If you know Q, you know 1 minus Q. So applying the formula e power minus R, the same formula, okay? So if you apply the formula, you will get e power minus R here. Here I will write the value, here I have to write the value, okay? So you apply the formula e power minus R Q Cu. Cu we know here, this is Cu and this is CD for this branch, okay? Similarly, you have Cu CD here. You have to subtract Cu plus 1 minus Q CD. You apply this formula. Even we will apply this formula to this also. To this also will apply, okay? This one also will apply, but there will be a problem. We'll go to that later. So remember, we have 3 now. So if you find the value here, okay, using all this whatever, and here you will get 2 values. Then after getting 2 values, we try to find it 0 as well, because that is the final one we want. So once you try to find there, you should know the values. Here Q, okay, you can write Q1 if you want, 0.43588. Here also you find Q, and then you find the value. Value will be 17.195. This is 17.195, okay? This one also you need to find. This should be 0, right? Because these are 0 anyway, the pay-ups are 0. So if the pay-ups are 0, do you think that will be 0? Is it? Because we use pay-ups here, right? We use pay-ups here. So when we use pay-ups here, what will happen? These are 0 here. So discounted value will be 0. So this value is 0. Now you find this value, okay, the value here. So again you find Q here, 1 minus Q here. The only problem is how to know the pay-ups here, okay? You had pay-up 45, but you don't have pay-up here. Then what values you will take? Remember, I am repeating once again, I will repeat 2 times. The pay-ups here and the value here you can compare, okay? So when I say 17.195, that you can take as payoff here. You don't have payoff here. You can't exercise here, okay? The 45 price, that is at time 2. You can't exercise here, even you don't know. So this you have to treat as payoff, okay? Your final value. Now logically who can answer here? logically who can answer? The payoffs are 17.195 and 0. Using this formula twice we got. So logically, why you can take these as payoffs? Think this way. Suppose you have this paper, you have the paper and you want to sell this paper, okay? You want to sell it. So what will be the cost of this paper? That is the final value, right? This paper has a value here, the premium we say, and that is the value of the option here, whatever it is, V0 we say. So suppose you want to sell it to someone, you want to sell it to someone. How much it should be? What is the value of this paper? What is the value of this paper now? Who can answer? The value of this paper is not 45, because see, value means what? Suppose I am the buyer of the call option, I have this paper. I got from someone seller, that's a separate thing. Seller is no more an issue now. Instead of going to seller and exercising it, I want to sell it now because I can't go. Okay, I have some problem, I can't go. So I will sell it to some other. Okay, I am the buyer, I will sell it to C. C will go to S to exercise this one. So how much I can charge from C? Okay, obviously the payoff. Suppose because we know now the price it's 80, I will say give 35. Okay, give 35 for this paper. In this paper 45 is written, that's a separate thing. You give 35 so that I will give this paper to you, and 45 is written here. You go with the paper. Okay, you give this paper, if you give this paper to the seller and you bring your share, okay, you will get 1 unit of share from this. The share price in the market is 80 now, so you will get a profit of 35. So because you get a profit of 35, you give 35, I will give you this paper. If I lose this paper, I will lose 35 if the share price is 80. So this is also price 6.570. This is the price. Okay, this is the price of the options contract here. That is called premium. Premium is the price at 0. You can say that. Okay, what is the premium? The buyer of the options contract has to give to the seller to get this options contract. The value of the option, the cost of the option, 6.570. But here, according to whether it goes up or down, you have two prices, you can say. And here 4 prices. Okay, here 4 prices according to the stock price. Here 2 prices, here 1 price. Here fixed price. Okay, you have to pay this and you have to bring this. And future it will depend whether the stock price will go up or down. Okay, according to that you can sell it. If you want, you can sell it. Here if you want to sell, you will get this amount. Here if you want to sell, though you are not allowed in European call option. Okay, if you want to sell, see, you can sell it, right? You can exercise with seller, that is not allowed, but you can sell it to another party, suppose C. You can sell it. So when you sell it, at what price you will sell it? This price. If the price is 60 now, then at this price you can sell 17.195. The price increase, you will make a profit. Okay, this is the selling price. I am not saying the exercising price. You can sell it. Okay, this is the selling price. If you sell here immediately, you will get 6.570. If you sell here, you will not get anything because unfortunately the stock price came down. Okay, here the selling price will be again according to all these, the payoffs here. The payoffs will be the selling price. Remember, not the stock price. Okay, we'll do more next time. Class is over for today.